What if you woke up tomorrow, right in your own bed, and found out that living a normal life was suddenly a crime? I want you to really picture this for a second. You get up, put on your shoes, and step out the door. The wind blows through your hair. Just like that, you have broken the law. Later, you sit on the bus heading home. The sun is out. You softly hum a pop song to yourself. Guess what? That is a crime too. Now, imagine going to a party. You see the person you love. You walk over and give them a quick, warm hug. For that one simple act of love, you could be dragged into a public square and whipped 74 times until your back bleeds. To most of us, this sounds crazy. It sounds like a bad script for a dark movie about a ruined world. But this is no movie. This is the cold, hard, everyday truth for 88 million real people. They live under the heavy hand of the Iranian regime. In this place, the most normal things a human can do, laughing, loving, singing, being yourself, are treated like acts of war. The men in power see your joy as a direct threat. We all see the news. We hear about the brave women fighting the strict dress codes. But trust me, that is only a tiny piece of the dark truth. The harsh rules set by these leaders cover the whole country like a thick blanket. Today, we will pull that blanket away. We will look closely at the real people who pay the highest price, just because they dare to be human. The men who run this state have one huge, dark goal. They want total control over women. It all starts with a tiny, simple piece of cloth. Let us go back to the year 1983. A new rule was put in place. From that day on, every single female had to cover her hair and hide her body. And I mean every female. Even a little girl, just 7 years old, walking to her first day of school, must follow this rule. This is not just a polite tip on how to dress. It is a strict law. To make sure everyone follows it, the state built a web of fear. They are called the morality police. They act like an army at war with their own people. They walk the streets day and night. They ride fast bikes through the traffic. They even fly drones in the sky. They look for a few strands of hair in the wind, a bit too much makeup, jeans that fit a little too snug. If they see something they hate, they grab you. In the fall of 2022, the world learned one name, Mahsa Amini. She was just 22 years old. Police took her off the street because her scarf was worn the wrong way. 3 days later, she was dead. The state said her heart just stopped, but leaked photos showed dark bruises and broken bones. Her death lit a massive fire. People took to the streets, shouting for freedom. But the leaders fought back harder. They put smart cameras on every corner to scan faces and track cars. Bare hair is now a powerful sign of a fierce fight. But the price to show it is very high. But the heavy hand of the state goes way past the clothes a woman wears. It reaches into her throat. It dictates the sounds she is allowed to make. Ever since the big shift in power in 1979, the men in charge have pushed a rule that makes no sense. They made it a strict crime for any woman to sing a song alone in public. Think about how wild that sounds. Their excuse? They say a woman's voice is too sweet. They claim it will plant bad thoughts in the minds of men. Because of this one rule, whole generations of brilliant girls had their dreams crushed into dust. Their songs were never heard. Let us jump to 2018. Meet Maida. She was an 18-year-old girl. One day, she set up her phone in her own bedroom. She pressed record. She danced and sang along to a pop beat. For that video, the police hunted her down. Then, they dragged her onto live TV. With tears on her face, she was forced to beg for mercy. Her only crime was moving to a fun song. Now, even men are locked up for singing with a woman. At the same time, the pure thrill of watching live sports has been taken from half the crowd. Women have been locked out of big football games for decades. The state claims men curse too much there. In 2019, a brave fan dressed up as a boy to sneak into a match. She got caught and faced 6 months in a cold cell. Feeling totally lost, she walked out of the court, poured gas on her body, and struck a match. She died in the flames. Her only fault was wanting to cheer for her favorite team. When you look through the eyes of the men in charge, a smile is a very scary thing. They see pure joy as a kind of poison. In almost every town on Earth, moving to a beat shows we are free. Here, dancing in the street is a serious crime. In March 2023, 2 young girls went out. One was only 16. They stood in front of the big Azadi Tower. They played a pop song and did a quick dance. They held no signs. But state cameras saw them. Police tracked them down. Days later, they were forced to say sorry on camera. Their faces were swollen. Anyone could see they had been beaten until they broke. The state wants to own your private love too. Old laws say a man and a woman cannot touch unless married. Picture this. You throw a party for your new engagement. You feel so happy. You pull your partner into a tight hug. For that, you can be tied to a post. A guard will strike your bare back 74 times with a thick whip. The police are always watching, using neighbors as spies. A short video clip from a wedding can bring cops kicking down your door. Under this harsh rule, the sweet days of being a kid can end in a flash. The books say the legal age for a girl to marry is 13. That is already too young. But there is a massive dark hole in the rules. If a father says yes, and a judge signs a paper, a little girl who is only 9 years old can be legally sold as a bride. She should be playing with toys. Instead, she is pushed into a grown man's house. Behind the talk of old ways, there is a giant, dark trade. Every year, thousands of little girls are traded like bags of wheat. A poor dad might sell his kid to clear a bad debt, or force her to marry an old man to save the family name. The morality police will never show up to save them. If a kid tries to run, the law turns a blind eye. It only shields the pride of grown men. The sad story of Romina broke the news. She was just 14. She tried to run away from her harsh dad. The cops found her fast. She cried and begged them not to send her back. They did not care. They dragged her home. That night, while Romina was fast asleep, her dad walked in with a heavy, sharp farm blade. He cut her head clean off. Because of twisted old rules, a dad who kills his kid is safe from the hangman's rope. For taking his own daughter's life, he got a mere 9 years in jail. A little girl's life is worth far less than the ego of the man who raised her. The deep traps hidden in the new digital world. How a simple photo can lock you away. When the streets outside feel like a jail, people turn to their screens. The internet used to be the one place where a person could feel a tiny bit free. The men in power saw this. They turned the web into a giant trap you cannot escape. The apps you use every day, like Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube, are completely blocked. Millions must buy illegal tools just to peek at the outside world. But the second you connect, a target is painted on your back. The state does not just block sites. They build fake apps that look real. They call it the halal web. It is a giant spy tool. They read every text and hear every voice note. They use smart bots to scan the photos you post. Take a selfie in your room without a headscarf. And they know. Tap the like button on a protest video. And they know. The next morning, you might get a call from the secret police. Look at the crazy case of Sahar. She was just having fun on the web. She used an app to edit her face, making herself look like a funny, scary zombie movie star. The state did not laugh. They tracked her down and threw her in chains. They told the judge she was corrupting the earth and insulting God. For a fake photo, she got 10 long years in a dark cell. When a funny picture can ruin your life, your phone camera is no longer a toy. It is a loaded gun pointed right at your own head. The hard cage built to lock away the mind. The men at the top do not just want to tell you how to walk. They want to own your whole future. They want to lock up your brain and tie down your soul. In most places, if a kid goes to study in a far-off land, the family is proud. But here, if you pack a bag to learn in the West, you get a dark mark. The state looks at you like a spy. They think you are bringing back dirty thoughts. When young students fly back home, armed guards are waiting. They pull them into back rooms. They force them to give up their private passwords. They lock them up for weeks without saying why. The goal is clear. Keep the kids cut off. Control what they read. Stop smart minds from bringing back fresh ideas that could crack the walls of power. It goes even deeper. It is an order forced on you. If you leave the main faith and turn to the church or the Baha'i way, you cross a fatal line. The state calls it a grave sin. The price is a rope around your neck. Take the brave pastor Yusuf. He stood tall and would not drop his cross. For that, he sat on death row for years. The Baha'i folks have it even worse. Their kids cannot sit in a college class. Their small shops are bolted shut. The state even drives big tractors over their graves to erase their names. When the men in power demand to own your soul, just holding on to your own faith becomes the bravest fight of your life. When you push a crowd too hard, they push back. It is human nature. But when a dark state feels real fear, it brings out its worst tool: the yellow construction crane. Here, standing in the street with a sign is not just breaking a rule. The law calls it waging war against God. Because of that charge, the state gives no fair trial. They march you straight to the grave. In 2022, a boy named Majid took to the streets. Guards caught him. They beat him until he confessed. He had no real lawyer. Weeks later, they drove him to a busy street. They tied a thick rope to a tall crane. They pulled him high into the air until his breath stopped. They did not call his mother until his body was cold. Why do it in the open? To make a bloody show of it. To make every kid feel cold terror. They do not just hunt the young. In 2024, they pulled a 72-year-old man named Ali from his cell. He had been locked up for 20 years. He was weak. But they hung him anyway, just to prove they never let go of a grudge. Also, folks who love in a different way face a total wipeout. Being gay is a deadly crime. Old laws say two men who love each other must be whipped or killed in secret. The bright dream a rope can never kill. Loose hair blowing in the wind. A catchy tune hummed on the street. A tight hug with a friend. A happy dance in the square. A loud cheer when your team scores. A quiet prayer. Even a silly photo posted online. For us, these are small, normal acts. They are the tiny drops of joy that make life worth it. But inside Iran, these acts are the front lines of a fierce fight for life. This harsh state has spent billions. They bought cameras, they built fast drones, they put up tall beams. They do this to force a whole nation to shut its mouth. But there is one truth the men with the guns will never get. You can use a steel crane to break a man's bones, but you cannot use it to kill a dream. You can block the web, but you cannot stop a sweet song from playing in a girl's head. You can fill streets with fear, but you can never build a cage strong enough to hold down the human need to be free. Every time a brave woman lets the sun hit her bare hair. Every time a young couple risks the whip to hold hands. Every time a little girl picks up a school book instead of a wedding ring. They are fighting a huge war for the right to breathe. They are the real heroes. No one should have to bleed this much to be free. But the brave souls in Iran give up everything for the simple rights we wake up with every day.